if we did not read the literature, if my wife was not pediatrician, God knows when would we start. It's really hard to get the therapies, even in Croatia. There are more and more children with some kind of issues that need some kind of support, and you are waiting and waiting. If you notice anything strange or untypical with your child, as early as possible, ask someone. Try to investigate it.
Welcome to the Metautism podcast, where we're diving into the vibrant world of autism and championing inclusive education and employment. Join us as we explore innovative strategies, share inspiring stories, and analyze groundbreaking initiatives that celebrate differences and advocate for a future of equal opportunities. Let's get started. Hello. How are you? Welcome to another episode of Metautism podcast. I'm your host Clara, and I'm thrilled that I'm speaking with Marijan Živić, and it's in person. So it's a rare occasion for Metautism podcast, but Marijan is such a fantastic guest. He has background in software development. He worked as chief product officer, but last 6 years he's living his life maybe different than he did before, because he has a daughter, Anna. She's 6 years old and she's on the autism spectrum. That changed a bit of his also career path from chief product officer. You quit your job, I guess, a year ago, somewhere like that, and he focused on building app. That app is now called WordTube, and he invested his time and energy and learnings and experience from his family to create something that helps children on the autism spectrum learn, communicate, and connect with the world around them. So we will speak about that, but also about his parenting experience, about Anna's journey, Anna's developmental journey, and what maybe why early intervention is important for kids, and so on. We have this episode in 2 parts. This is the second part, and I suggest you go learn more about Marijan and about Anna in the first part that is already published, and then come back and finish this episode. Even before WordTube, you developed an app that Anna tested for iPad, yeah?
Yes.
And it was inspired by YouTube Kids that you also mentioned. So what did inspire that app, and how did Anna interact with it? Mm-hmm. What was the result of that app?
Yeah, that was a point in time when we were learning new words. And it is the first form of speech. It's called tagging, naming objects, people, animals, and it's like one word for one thing. And I noticed like really quickly, really early that she liked to watch and use YouTube Kids. And what I also noticed, that it was not only that she would click and watch the video clip. The thing that reinforced her with YouTube Kids was this swipe mechanics. You know, she would swipe and it was like stimulation for her, seeing all these little thumbnails moving and all of that. And she would click to one thumbnail, one video clip, like Blue's Clues or Peppa Pig, and it was running, but she would also, these little suggestions, she would swipe it. And it was like, sometimes it seemed like this swiping was keeping her more on the video than the video itself. And as I knew about these reinforcers and the techniques, how to keep child learning, like bubbles or any snacks, since I did not have all that many reinforcers, I did not have many options. So I looked, okay, this is one more option. This could be one more reinforcer for her. And I said, okay, as my background is in software development and software engineering, computer science, and all of that, and I said, okay, let's try to develop the app that will look almost identically in the layout like YouTube Kids, like there is some central stuff going on, but you can swipe these little thumbnails below. And the app was like really, really simple. It was these little thumbnails were actually the same images and photographs that I took of everyday objects and animals and all of that, and I put them like below, and you could swipe them the same way she could swipe the YouTube Kids these little thumbnails. And when you click on the thumbnail, that image would replicate on the central part of the screen, and it would appear like a big picture, and the word would be played. And this simple app could also record sound, and you could put any photo or image that you had. And I put a whole bunch of these. I think it was like 20 or 25 words in that simple first version app. I finished the app and put it. I think it was not iPad, it was Samsung.
Yeah,
it was
like,
Android.
yeah.
It was tablet.
Yeah.
And I gave the device. I gave her the device, and she immediately started using it and clicking on the thumbnails. And there were like some words that she already knew back then, and there were some words that were new. And I think in 2 or 3 days she started repeating these new words, like saying them. I could detect which words were there, but the tongue is the finest motorics in our body. It's not the fingers, it's the tongue. And since she has these issues with fine motorics, she has also issues with pronunciation. And she was repeating the words. She learned new words, and the great thing, she was trying to pronounce it. But I noticed, she will. There will be a lot of time. We have to take a lot of time to fix that pronunciation. But the great thing was, she was using the app. She was asking the app on her own, give me laptop. She calls it laptop, this tablet. And she was using it and clicking. And I noticed, okay, there could be something here, Maybe it could help other children back then. It was 2023, I think, the first version of the app. I was really proud, for her using some of my software to learn something. I was really proud.
And how did that evolve into WordTube?
Okay, I started to work on real version of software back when I was at SofaScore, and I met really great software developers there. At that point, I was not like great software developer. I was more of a product guy, and this app was developed like overnight. This first version. And I wanted to find a really great Android developer to rewrite it and make it stable. SofaScore has the best developers that I ever met in Croatia, at least. And one of them developed me the app, and it was really great. And then at one point it was really this situation, and you have to put a lot of time with your kids, especially Anna. A lot of time in the company. You're part of the board. It's all too much. And I said, okay, let's see if I can work on that app later. And I had now I'm speaking about my career transitions.
Of course.
Yes, I had like 10 ideas of the products that I could develop. I always wanted to build, my own stuff, to build my own product and to build a business around it. And what I've noticed in 2024 was that artificial intelligence is developing so fast that I will be able to program the app without actually knowing all the source code. It was almost like You could see it back then in 2024. In 2025, I started. It's really funny. I started vibe coding. Vibe coding is like, you're writing normal language, and it's turning it into code into the app.
Using usually AI.
Using AI, and there was a tool called Cursor. I started using it back at the beginning of 2025, and I took the source code of the app and started working with Cursor, and I extended bits of functionality, and I said, okay, I should first put this on Play Store so that other people can install the app. So when you're putting a new app on the store, and you are a new Google developer account, Google requires you to have at least 12 people testing and running your app every consecutive day for 14 days, for 2 weeks. And it was like, where will I find 12 people to click it, not if they forget one day, you have to find another one and go like that. And I find this therapist that worked with Anna at our home, and she said, you should put it on the Facebook groups. There are 3 Facebook groups that I know that a lot of parents, there is a lot of engagement there. They are writing a lot of posts, and somebody will probably answer. And I put it there. And I think there were like 200 or 300 people
who wanted to test.
Yes. And I said, okay, this does not prove that my app is the solution, but it definitely proves that there is a need for some kind of app that will guide the parents. And I put it in, I did finish the test and published it to Play Store, and parents were starting to using. Some of them were using it frequently, some of them were like, there is no use. We cannot see any point in this app. At that point, I definitely did not expect the app to become what it is now. But I was thinking it will be a little tool, you upload the image, you record your voice, and give it to your child to practice. But the parents do not all have these technical abilities, or do not have time to set up all of these exercises and practice for their children. And the great thing that happened, they were sending me constantly examples and proposals and suggestions for new exercises, like materials from professional therapists, all of that. And I said, okay, this is a whole different work from just building the app. So as I was already deep into AI, I said, okay, I think AI could help me to get these exercises. And ChatGPT at that point got a totally different model that could generate these illustrations that actually looked great. There were some errors, but looked great. And then I took the materials and built exercise after exercise after exercise. And then the parents said, okay, great, you have the exercise, but the sound is not great. Like, there is a special functionality on smartphones called text-to-speech. Mm-hmm. And if you let that speech, it sounds like a robot. Mm-hmm. It's like, dog, cat, like real robot. And I found another AI tool that generated text-to-speech, but it sounds like, if you hear it, you can hear some accents that are strange, but it really sounds like human voice. And you could pick another voice and to put it into the app. And then I did it, with these voices, and I also used AI to develop iOS applications. So there's both Android and iOS. I was following and watching what kind of work she did with our daughter. I was looking at it, and it was usually like they have some kind of little books with images or simple image, and they have these symbols, special symbols next to it, and they would take this image and ask kind of like there is a rabbit leaving the house. Who is on the picture? Rabbit. Okay, show the rabbit. And she shows the sign. What does the rabbit do? The rabbit is leaving the house. Show the sign leave. And they are teaching them two things. One is to engage, to pronounce the word. Another thing is, okay, some children may never speak, but they will be able to connect the sign with the meaning. Recognition, yes. And the third thing that it does is many of autistic children have something called Gestalt language processing. It sounds like, high psychology, but they do hear sound and they can even repeat the sound. Like whole sentence is one sound and they repeat the sound and it has special meaning for them in some context. For example, my daughter Anna, when she wants to finish something, she will say gasi, gasi, like turn off, turn off. And it does not always mean turn off. It can mean, let's stop washing the teeth, turn off. And turn off is like two sentences. And there are even more sentences. And I noticed that with my daughter, she cannot decouple these into words. She sees one sound, like this sound happens in this context, but she does not see words. And what I notice with these speech therapists, when they are chunking and asking questions about the same image, that they are actually, with these different questions, they are separating the sound of one sentence into simple words. And I developed another exercise, another type of exercise inside of the app that I call question exercise. But basically, the app is doing the same that the speech therapist does. It shows the image and a human voice says, who is holding the apple? And there are suggested little images with the answers. Boy, girl, mom, dad. And the child has to pick the right answer. And Anna loved it. Anna loved it because there at the end of each task, there is a sort of a reinforcer. Sound is saying, bravo, well done. There are confetti. And that's some kind of also a reinforcer that I mentioned before. What I started at some point, I started seeing that she's connecting these bits of the sound, words, into situations that were not in the app. Like there was not image of some situation in the real world.
She expanded the context.
She expanded, and I noticed, okay, there is something in this. And then I extended the number of exercises to everyday routines so that they learn and teach it. So that the child can see really images, not of rabbit but real image from everyday routine, like washing teeth, potty training, washing hands. And we can speak about it later, but what I did is whole system where you can explain what is the issue or what is the goal for your child, and the system develops the exercise for you. And that's something that the future versions of WordTube will see. The name of the app was supposed to be First Word, because First Word was the real milestone in Anna's development. And why it's not First Word? Because Google and iOS will not let me get the first word, because it's really valuable word for the app name. So I don't know if I should pay for that name or what, but I'm the new developer with a new app, and nobody will give me the expensive names. So I said, okay, it's not First Word, but WordTube, YouTube Kids.
It indicates some sort of visual, maybe also learning when there's words. And now, what is the phase of the app?
When you have all these automized the process of development, the app, and process of generating these exercises. It was really easy to translate it to other languages. Technically easy. There are some other challenges when you come to other languages. Is uh, the language for kids is not the same as everyday language. There are some special words that mummies use for their child, or child use for their mummies. So it was like really, each exercise that I generate, I have to run through and see these translations. And the second thing, when I generate the sounds are generated from the text, I also have to check it, and I have to check it again because there are some accents that are not pronounced well, and AI sometimes make hallucinations. And hallucination sounds, when AI is generating the sound, you can hear the hallucinations. It's like you record the sound for word, I don't know, mommy, and it can generate mommy.
Oh, I know what you...
And you cannot let it go into the app. What I see for the future, I see the third level of the exercises for children that already completed some of the steps. That will have, you see the image, and the app is asking you questions, but you are making a sentence, like three word sentence. Now, app only supports like one word answer, but I would like to support that the child can build the sentence. The next version of WordTube, I'm working on it right now. The first thing I have to do, I have to clean the sounds again, the old sounds. I also developed a special system. I copied it. The way it works, it's like Duolingo. It works like Duolingo. So I created special levels for children, and it's based on the literature about the development of language with autistic and speech delayed children. And I am going through these levels, but I'm not generating like any exercise. It goes around everyday routines. So I want the children to learn to decouple the sounds into words, to understand the words, to being able to repeat the words, but focused on everyday activities. Potty training, going out, waking up, eating,
You mentioned brushing teeth.
washing hands, brushing teeth, yes. And I developed a special system, and the app will have a little assessment, like Mary Barbera's little assessment. And it's really simple. I did not want to put like very long. Some apps really have very long onboarding assessment, and it's like you're putting. It's like you are on a therapy again, and a really simple assessment that puts your child in some of these development phases, and the app suggests these exercises that are suitable for the current phase of your child development. And the app suggests the exercises for today, like run these 3 exercises, and I'm adding a lot more of these reinforcement stuff into the app, like when child finishes the exercise, it will get like a little star, and then as it completes the day, it will get 5 stars, and again confetti. I've also added soap bubbles, and you can really pop them in the app when you
That's so nice.
when you finish it. And what I also noticed, as I am a bit nerdy, I created really big exercises, like from 10 steps. It's maybe okay for advanced children at some later stages, but at the beginning, when they possibly do not even have a pointing gesture, I have to make these exercises shorter so that they feel this reinforcer as soon as possible to see the progress. And that will be the next version. And what I have a lot of plans and ideas, And two major ones are, one is I want to build a tool for therapists. What I'm actually doing, like I'm writing with AI, my child has this and this kind of issues, and the AI will build me initial exercise with all of the images and the sounds and everything. And who can better develop and review that exercise than real therapists? And they have these patients, and who can better know which exercise or set of exercises is the best for current state of the child than therapist. And I will build a tool for them that will make them really, really easy and convenient to build special custom exercise for a specific child, share it, and the child will see it in the app. The app will have, even with the next version, really strong part for the parents. I call it parent mode. And you can parents will be able to track the progress of their child, to put their own exercises into the flow, into the learning path. And what I will keep as simple as possible is the part for the child, that when you lock the parent mode, you see the part for the child, and it still looks pretty much same like YouTube Kids. It has these thumbnails that are exercises. You can click it, you can swipe it, and really, I would like to keep it as simple as possible, and to put more of these reinforcers into it. And if I will be successful with these new versions, what I see, it's really hard to get the therapies, even in Croatia. There are more and more children with some kind of issues like autistic, ADHD, or speech delay that need some kind of support, and you are waiting and waiting, and we are doing a lot. We did a lot of these. We arranged a lot of these therapies on our own cost. And if we did not read the literature, if my wife was not pediatrician, God knows when would we start. I think there is a great need for the app that will be some kind of a home therapist. And what does that app has to satisfy are two things. One is that it is really safe for the child. That really sets the set of practice that is suitable for that child at that point of time, on that point of development. In the second thing I would like to see is that app is so engaging that the child really asks for it next day. And I see another set of applications that my Anna is using, and I want to build in that direction. There is application from our friends Slovenians, Talking Tom.
Oh, I know that, yeah.
Yes, and there are multiple duplicates of that application. So Talking Tom was actually the first one, but now you have Talking Sam, and there is a female version, like pink one, Talking, I don't know what's the name, but my daughter, for example, really likes that Talking Kitten. And the app is simple. There is a kitten and she's speaking something to my daughter, and she's clicking, and she knows how to click. And now I'm thinking it would really be great to program that cat in that she is aware of these reinforcers and the level of the child, and that character is actually offering the things, and it's subliminally teaching the child to first communicate, to point, and then go further into more complex forms of communication. And I see some apps in that direction already existing, but none of them is taking this therapy part really seriously. And if you have the app that kids love to use, and the app is using game to move their communication first and speech into the right direction, I think it really can help a lot of people. I've joined a lot of Facebook groups to promote the app and for people to know the app. And I joined many Facebook groups from United States, from Canada, UK, France, Philippines. I don't know how I ended up in Philippines, but it could seem like we do not have a lot of support in Croatia. The number of kids needing that kind of support, it's growing year from year. It's really growing, and it's not like just in Croatia. In the United States, the numbers are like the percentage of children with some kind of issues is really growing. And it could seem that we do not have enough support in Croatia, but it's even worse in some parts of the United States. And I really see that the need for that kind of app that will be some kind of everyday therapist at home, many people could benefit from it.
So no, I mean, I can see the value you're bringing and that you want to bring to not only children but also parents and therapists and so on. But there's always debate about screen time, how much should we allow kids to use screens and so on. So what's your opinion on that?
I'm totally against leaving your child alone with the device, with iPad. But I'm also totally against leaving your child with any kind of support, and I mean every day. And it's really hard for the majority of parents to have therapists every day at home. And it's really hard for majority of parents to, after hard working day, to sit with their child and do some quality work. It's also really, we cannot expect from every parent to be engaged and to start noticing and working with child like we did. And it's really hard for child anyway to avoid screen time. So I would say it is much better to use the app that has these therapy qualities at least 15 minutes a day. It will be really shame not to have that kind of tool and not to use it. But if it is a sunny day, go out with your child. And if it is not sunny day, get your child out of the routine, out of the boundaries, put challenges even out of the app. And I already started doing that in the app, little tips for parents. Mm-hmm. Not just, your child has to stick to the app. I'm putting these little tips, now you are in this phase. It's not just enough to learn naming. You have to go out and point to a bird, to a tree, to a playground, and use the things they are learning in the app and use them in the real world.
And last words, maybe recommendations to parents, to whoever you decide to send your message to.
So my message to other parents is, if you notice anything strange or untypical with your child, as early as possible, ask someone. Try to investigate it. If you find anything, do not hesitate. Start working as soon as possible with any tools available. Do not wait. It's really important to start as early as possible.
Okay, I mean, that was such a great message. I'm really impressed by everything you shared, not only through your experience, but also through the energy you invested in your daughter, in helping other people, and it's inspiring, it's fascinating, and I really loved hearing the depth you and your family went to to understand Anna, to help her, not only help her like learn some things, but it's her future, how she manages society, how she manages kindergarten and so on. So I know it took a lot of energy and really props to you. Thank you so much for taking the time out of your day to join me. Thank you so much, dear viewer or dear listener, for joining us. And of course, thank you to the Erasmus Plus program of European Union for funding this project. All opinions are our own. And until the next time, bye bye.